In Chapter 14, we are going to look at product and pricing strategies. As the central element in every company's exchanges with its customers, products naturally command considerable attention from managers, planning new offerings and coordinating the market mixes for their existing offerings. To understand the nature of these decisions, it's important to recognize the various types of products and the stages that products go through during their lifetime in the marketplace. This slide gives an overview of the characteristics of products, and we'll discuss some of these items that affect the life cycle in the marketplace in this chapter as well. Organizations and consumers use many of the same products, but they can use them for different reasons and in different ways. Individual consumers or households generally purchase smaller quantities of goods and services for personal use. Products that are primarily sold to individuals for personal consumption are known as consumer products. Consumer products can be classified into 4 subgroups depending on how people shop for them. Convenience products are the goods and services that people buy frequently without much conscious thought, such as milk, bread, and candy bars, toothpaste, and photocopying. Shopping products are fairly important goods and services that people buy less frequently. A stereo, a computer, a refrigerator, and even a college education. Such purchases require more thought and comparison shopping to check on price, features, qualities, and reputation. Specialty products include particular brands that the buyer especially wants and will seek out regardless of location or price. Specialty products do not have to be expensive, but they are products that consumers go out of their way to buy, and rarely will they accept substitutes for them. Finally, unsought goods are products that people do not normally think of buying, such as life insurance, cemetery plots, or tow services when your car breaks down. And so they must be made aware of them through promotion. Regardless of a product's classification, few products last forever. Most products go through a product life cycle, passing through 4 distinct stages in sales and profits. These stages are introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. As the product passes from stage to stage, various marketing approaches become appropriate. The first stage in the product life cycle is the introductory stage, during which producers launch a new product and stimulate demand. After the introductory stage comes the growth stage, which is marked by a rapid jump in sales and usually an increase in the number of competitors and distribution outlets. As competition increases, so does the struggle for market share. During the maturity stage, which is the longest in the product life cycle, sales begin to level off or show a slight decline. Most products are in the maturity stage of the life cycle where competition increases and market share is maximized, making further expansion difficult. Although maturity can be extended for many years, most products eventually enter the decline stage when sales and profits slip and then fade away. Declines occur for several reasons: changing demographics, shifts in popular taste, product competition, and advances in technology. When a product reaches this point in the life cycle, the company must decide whether to keep it or reduce the product's cost to compensate for declining sales, or even discontinue it and focus on developing new products. Another option is to give the product a makeover that is, changing the packaging, improving the formula, or modifying the form or flavor in the hopes of injecting new life into the brand. Product strategies are among the most difficult and important decisions managers need to make, since new products can take months or years and millions of dollars to develop and introduce to the marketplace. This slide shows the new product development process that occurs. And the one that I want to talk about is when companies test the market. This is interesting because when you see, for example, limited time only offers on menus, this is most likely a company testing the market to see if the product will sell before launching it nationwide and or making it a permanent menu item. Creating an identity for products is one of the most important decisions marketers make. That identity is encompassed in the brand, which can have meaning at 3 levels. The first is a unique name, symbol, or design that sets the product apart from those offered by competitors. The second are the legal protections afforded by a trademark and any relevant intellectual property, and the third is the overall company or organizational brand. Jeep and iPod are brand names, which is the portion of a brand that can be spoken, including letters, words, or numbers. McDonald's golden arches and the Nike swoosh symbol are examples of a brand mark, which is the portion of a brand that cannot be expressed verbally. A logo is a concise, graphical, and/or textual representation of a brand name. The choice of brand name and any associated brand marks can be a critical success factor. Most tangible products need some sort of packaging to protect them from damage or tampering, but packaging can also play an important role in a product's marketing strategy. Packaging makes products easier to display, facilitates the sale of smaller products, serves as a means of product differentiation, and enhances the product's overall appeal and convenience. Finally, labeling is an integral part of packaging. Whether the label is a separate element attached to the package or a printed part of the container, it serves to identify a brand and communicate multiple types of information, from promotional images to legally required safety and nutritional data. As I mentioned before, brand names are that portion of a brand that can be expressed orally, including letters, words, or numbers. Brand names may be associated with a manufacturer, a retailer, a wholesaler, or a combination of business types. Brands offered and promoted by a national manufacturer, such as Procter & Gamble's Tide detergent, are called national brands. Private brands are not linked to a manufacturer, but instead carry a wholesaler's or retailer's brand. Die-Hard batteries and Kenmore appliances are private brands sold by Sears. As an alternative to branded products, some retailers also offer generic products, which are packaged in plain containers that bear only the name of the product. Finally, co-branding occurs when 2 or more companies team up to closely link their names in a single product. Companies can also license or offer to sell the rights to well-known brand names and symbols. If you think about cereal that may have a Disney princess on it, this would be an example of co-branding and/or licensing. In addition to developing product identities, a company must continually evaluate what kinds of products it will offer. To stay competitive, most companies continually add or drop products to ensure that declining items will be replaced by growth products. A product line is a group of products that are similar in terms of use or characteristics. Knowing that no product has an unlimited life cycle, to keep sales strong, companies use the following product line expansion methods. Line filling is developing items to fill gaps in the market that have been overlooked by competitors or have emerged due to customer demand. An example of this is flavored or vitamin water. Line extensions is creating a new variation of an existing product. An example of this would be when a nutritional bar, let's say, is available in strawberry, and then that same bar is offered in raspberry or chocolate. A brand extension is putting the brand for an existing product category into a new category. An example of this would be Arm & Hammer baking soda now makes items, and the brand has been extended to products such as cat litter and toothpaste. And finally, line stretching is adding higher priced or lower priced items to extend a product line's appeal to new economic groups. An organization with several product lines has a product mix. A product mix is a collection of goods and services offered for sale. Three important dimensions of a company's product mix are width, length, and depth. A company's product mix is wide if it has several different product lines. For example, if an automobile manufacturer offers trucks, cars, and SUVs. A mix is long if it carries several items in its product lines, such as subcompact, midsize, and large. And finally, a product mix is deep if it has a number of versions of each product in a product line. For example, a 2-door coupe, a 5-door sedan, sports trim, etc. Managers must consider a variety of internal and external factors when establishing prices, including the firm's marketing objectives, government regulations, customer perceptions, market demand, and competition. Every company has a particular cost structure that determines how much it must spend to create and market its products. Some of these costs remain the same regardless of production and sales volume. Such fixed costs include rent or mortgage payments, insurance premium, and salaries. These are costs incurred just to keep the doors open without creating or selling anything. In contrast, variable costs include raw materials, supplies consumed during production, shipping, and sales commission. Obviously, the more a company can lower its cost structure, the more flexibility it has in setting prices and ensuring desirable levels of profit. The cost to create and sell each product is a combination of fixed and variable cost. A critical calculation in setting prices is break-even analysis. This is where you determine the number of units a firm must sell at a given price to recoup both fixed and variable cost, or to break even. The break-even point is the minimum sales volume the company must achieve to avoid losing money. Sales volume beyond the break-even point will generate profits, and sales volume below the break-even point will result in losses. The formula for break-even point analysis is shown here. I want you to understand the formula, but you will not have to calculate it in this class. In our final slide for Chapter 14, we are going to look at different pricing strategies. Managers can apply a variety of methods to pinpoint specific prices. Many companies simplify the pricing task by using cost-based pricing, which is also known as cost-plus pricing. They price by starting with the cost of producing a good or service and then add a markup to the cost of the product. Recent thinking, however, holds that cost should be the last item analyzed in the pricing formula and not the first. In contrast to cost-based pricing, value-based pricing establishes a price on a product's potential or perceived value in the marketplace. In other words, rather than starting with the cost and then figuring out a price, this method starts with a target price and works backwards to identify a cost structure that will yield acceptable profit margins. Another item that I want you to know from this slide is known as skimming. Skimming is when occurs because during the introductory phase of the product life cycle, a company may opt to take advantage of strong demand from early adopters before competitors can enter the market and exert downward pressure on prices. To achieve this goal, the company can charge a high initial price, which is a practice known as skim pricing, with the intention of dropping the price later. Rather than setting a high initial price to skim off of a small but profitable market segment, a company might try to build sales volume by charging a low initial price, which is a practice known as penetration pricing. The last item I want you to know from this slide is loss leader. As part of a marketing plan, some companies occasionally resort to losing money on every sale or earning very little profit in some cases, but recoup that loss by enticing customers to try new products or buy other products. An example of this may be when around Thanksgiving, grocery stores may take a loss on the price of a turkey, but they're hoping that you'll do the rest of your grocery shopping in their store as well. This concludes Chapter 14. Please let me know if you have any questions.